Hello, everybody. Happy Trek on Tuesday. We are so excited to be here today. It's a big day. We are joined by Philip and Matt. As you can see from their background, they are located somewhere interesting. Philip, Matt, where are you guys?
We are currently standing in the National Scouting Museum here on the Philmont Scout Ranch.
Philmont Scout Ranch, the home of the National Scouting Museum and also of so many exciting outdoors opportunities. Tomorrow is a big day for Philmont Scout Ranch. It is the day that the 2027 registration goes live. Tomorrow, October 1st, registration for, we're talking about summer of 2027, goes live. It's a big day. If you've been to Philmont, you're going to want to watch the next 30 minutes or so as we talk about everything that Philmont has to offer. If you haven't been to Philmont, you definitely want to watch for the next 30 minutes to talk with Philip and Matt about everything that Philmont has to offer. We have prizes to give away, folks. Shout out to Rusty from Pack 84 in New Philadelphia, Ohio. By commenting, Rusty is already entered to win. We have 2 water bottles and 1 hat to give away. Can either of you show those real quick? There we go. There's 1 water bottle, there's 2 water bottles, and there's the Philmont hat. Over the next 30 minutes, we are going to give all 3 of those items away. All you have to do for a chance to win is to comment. You can tag a friend if you'd like to. That's a great way to comment. You can do what Rusty did and just say hi. If you want to do that as well, that's fine. We may have some folks watching, Philip and Matt, whoever wants to take this first question. We may have some folks watching who, quite frankly, aren't familiar with Philmont. Maybe they don't know what the big deal is. Who can give me just sort of a general overview when we talk about Philmont Scout Ranch? What are we talking about?
Sure. So Philmont Scout Ranch, we're a 140,000 acre ranch located in northeast New Mexico in the beautiful Sangre de Cristo Mountains. I would say our primary bread and butter are backpacking treks for usually around 14 to 21-year-olds with some exceptions. And we offer a variety of programs, again, backpacking from different locations in our backcountry, doing unique historical programs, high adventure programs as you go along the way.
Very, very cool. Yeah, I always like to let people know there are 4 National Scouting America high adventure bases. Philmont is one of them. All 4 of them are located in, I mean, it's really not an exaggeration, some of the best parts of the world for those activities. Northern Tier, Forest Sea Base, the Summit, of course, in West Virginia, and Philmont, the backcountry of New Mexico. Just, I mean, if you could pick a place to go backpacking, a lot of people, that's where they would choose to go, because that's where you want to go. And Philmont exists as a way for scouts, venturers, Sea Scouts to go. Shout out to Rob, who's posting from Venture Crew 10 in my hometown of Frisco, Texas. What's up, Rob? Jason appreciates the background there. Jennifer says hi from Troop 5391 in Georgia. Chris from Troop 339 says they are entering tomorrow to return to Philmont. He uses the IWGBTP. I want to go back to Philmont, I think is what that stands for.
You got it.
If you've ever been to Philmont, when you come back, you immediately say you want to go back, I think. Everett says they're actually watching from Philmont right now. Shout out to Everett. Thank you all for watching. Everybody who's commented so far has been entered for a chance to win either 1 of 2 water bottles or a hat from Philmont. We're going to give the first one of those away in 5 minutes. Also want to point out a really cool promo that you guys have to offer. Let's see who it is. Chris said that they're going to be registering tomorrow. Tomorrow is October 1st. Anybody who registers for a 2027 trek tomorrow, you've got 2 weeks from October 1st to October 16th. You are entered for a chance to win a custom T-shirt. Everybody who goes from your contingent will get a custom Philmont T-shirt specifically for this trip. That's a really, really cool perk. All you have to do to enter to win is to register anytime between October 1st and October 16th, and you are automatically entered to win. I'm going to be reminding folks of that promotion a few times. For those of you who watch, you're going to get used to hearing me that a few times. Back to our honored guests, though, Philip and Matt, whoever wants to take this question. Philmont memories are made, right? I mean, there are people my age, and I'm not going to say how old that is, but there are people my age who talk about going on Philmont treks from their youth. How can a Philmont trek strengthen a unit, or even like a council, right, who brings a level? What is it about Philmont that can strengthen a unit and really provide that value?
What we see first of all, and I've seen this as a crew advisor a couple of times, is that your troop or crew you'll come together. Just before you even get to Philmont, you're going to spend the next year to year and a half developing, coming together. You're going to do practice hikes. You're going to have shared experiences. It's going to help your crew just by giving you this common goal to work towards. It's going to teach you resilience. It's going to be every part of your trip, whether you're planning the trip, the transportation, the fundraising, the leadership that the youth will have. It will bring a troop together. It'll retain your scouts. And it'll be a memory that you will never forget. Our mantra here that is Philmont changes lives, and a day doesn't go by without someone coming to the National Scouting Museum or coming through Philmont that was here decades ago, and they want to come back to Philmont.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's kind of the epitome of the scouting program, right? It's like, it provides a challenge, but it's a doable challenge. And when young people go there and when they accomplish a Philmont trek, they come away. I think a lot of parents would say their kids come home changed for the better, right? They're more mature, they're more confident, they stand a little bit taller. That's what Philmont can do for you. And we've got Daniel, who also says IWGBTP. He wants to go back to Philmont as well. We've got quite a few people commenting on your background, what's behind you. And shout out to the National Scouting Museum, who posted that the paddles behind you are from Northern Tier. The canoe is an orange crate canoe from 2 Scouts in Ohio. You guys are in the actual museum right now, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Lots
we're right here in one of the exhibit halls.
Yes, lots of cool stuff in the National Scouting Museum. Just another benefit to going to Philmont. There's all kinds of cool stuff there. I'm partial to the Boys Life exhibit, Scout Life magazine exhibit there. That's because that's what I do here at the National Council. Very, very, very cool. I want to give one more shout out to a valued partner with Scouting America. It's an organization called Peak One Express that is helping get families to Philmont. The advantage of Philmont is that it's kind of in the middle of nowhere, right? And so we're trying to make it easier to get there. And Peak One Express provides transportation from the 2 Denver airports, Denver International and the Colorado Springs Airport. Very, very valued partner. Again, we're trying to make it easier as possible for families and scouts to get to Philmont. Peak One Express can kick off your adventure with private, comfortable transportation from the Denver International Airport straight to base camp. No stress, no hassle. They've already completed tons and tons of rides for 2025, and they are ready to make your trip for 2026 or 2027, which registration opens tomorrow. Smooth, fun, and memorable. Their vans hold up to 14 guests, which is very, very cool, plus any gear that you have with you. It's perfect for crews, troops, or families who are traveling together. Prices as low as $100 per person. It's an unbeatable way to roll into Philmont. Behind the scenes, Brian put up the link, I think, earlier. Brian, throw that up one more time if you don't mind. Go there for more information. There's a form there you can fill out to get a quote from them on exactly how much it's going to cost. Definitely recommend you clicking on that link if this is something that you're interested in. All right, folks. Another question for Philip or Matt, whoever wants to answer it. How do the treks at Philmont fit into like a year-round scouting program? Scouts operate, we hope, 12 months out of the year. How do you advise programs to our units to work Philmont into their program?
Yeah, Matt touched on that briefly, but preparing for Philmont is a year-round experience. So coming to the ranch isn't just about the time that you spend here at Philmont. It's about the opportunities to get together as a crew and prepare for your experience at Philmont. And that can certainly fit into a unit's year-round programming. Whether that's shakedown hikes, it could be getting your gear out and laying everything out and weighing everything and double checking and making sure we're not bringing too much or too little out on the trail. It can be talking about campsite setup. And all of those things can be entered into kind of your troop weekly program as you meet throughout the course of the year in preparation and lead up to the Philmont experience.
Yeah, I remember when my son was involved in Scouts BSA, they were going on Philmont practice treks all the time, and they would take some time even out from their regular camp out where the Philmont crew would go on a little hike, carrying their backpacks to get used to that landscape. We're going to talk a little bit more about the landscape at Philmont, how to organize a trek and things like that. But before we do that, it is time for our first giveaway. Matt, I'll let you choose which water bottle. We're going to do one of the water bottles first. Very nice. Look at that cool free Philmont water bottle. Anybody who has commented so far has been entered for a chance to win. For example, Don says he's a Philmont trekker from 1978. Very, very cool, Don. Shout out to my good friend Andrea. Andrea, you're not eligible to win. I'm sorry. Andrea works for Scouting America, but shout out to Andrea anyway. We love Andrea. There's Shelly. I know Shelly as well. Good to see you, Shelly. Thank you for commenting as well. You're not eligible to win, but you know who is eligible to win is, hold on, I had them right here just a second ago, and it is Daniel Carpenter, who commented very, very simply, IWGBTP. I want to go back to Philmont. Daniel, congratulations. I hope you get to go back to Philmont. Whether you do or not, though, you have won a Philmont water bottle, our first of three prizes that we're going to give away today. Daniel, check your Facebook inbox for a message from behind the scenes Brian himself. You get to interact with the real celebrity on the show, behind the scenes Brian. You'll get your information. We'll get that water bottle shipped out to you. All right, back to Philip and Matt. Let's talk about the landscape at Philmont. What is it like out there?
Philmont is just an amazing place. It's kind of hard to explain. It's where the mountains and the plains come together. It's a beautiful area when the Sangre de Cristo Mountains here. As part of our gift, our benefactor Wade Phillips donated this incredible landscape where we can do these incredible adventures, whether it be the hiking, whether it be the fishing, whether it be the history that Philip referenced earlier. It's 140,000 acres, but it's a great difference as you go across the ranch.
I would say as you hike to different locations on the ranch, one of the benefits that we have of the land here is just how diverse the ecosystems and the different regions of the property are. In the course of a 12-day trek, for example, you could go into 6 or 7 different, completely different ecosystems, ranging from 6,500 feet all the way up to over 12,000 feet in these alpine meadows and waterscapes. And yeah, it's a beautiful country. If you haven't before, go online, just look at some pictures, and I'm sure it wouldn't take you very long to find some pretty breathtaking landscapes at Philmont.
Yeah, again, it's not an exaggeration to say that if you asked an experienced backpacker, if you could go anywhere in North America to go backpacking, where would you go? A lot of them would choose that area because it is such a pristine, wonderful area. Like you said, there's hikes for all different skill levels. Some of them you can climb a mountain, but you don't have to climb a mountain. There are other ones that are, a little bit easier. If that's for you, there probably are some folks who have never been to Philmont. For example, Jeremy says, I still haven't made it, even though I've sent several scouts from my troop over the years. Hope to change that someday. Jeremy, we hope that you get the chance to change that someday as well. For those who haven't been to Philmont, can you guys give any advice on the first steps in organizing a Philmont trek for someone who's like just getting started in this whole thing?
The first thing I would do is just put the word out, because like, as you just said, a lot of folks don't understand what Philmont is. This is not your traditional summer camp experience. This is not a place where we're going to go and do a merit badge weekend, for example. You really got to do an education side. There's a lot of resources on our Trek page where you can, parents meetings, and really got to sell it, because it's a high adventure. It's a big deal. A lot of folks don't understand why it takes a year and a half to get here. So the preparation and the everything that leads up to it is so important. But it's fun to get people excited about Philmont. It's not hard.
Probably the next step, the best guide is going to be our advisor's guidebook. And it kind of walks through the process of all those steps to prepare for the Philmont trek, the fundraising, organizing transportation, because we understand it can be a little overwhelming. And also remember that the staff here at Philmont are always here to help you. We will zoom into your meetings. We will give you a call. We'll help walk you through any of that process. If anything is a barrier to you coming to the ranch, don't be afraid to reach out to us.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And Matt, you said, I think maybe you said 18 months. Yeah, it might throw some people for a loop. Registration tomorrow opens, and we're talking about 2027. So we're not talking about next summer. We're talking about the summer after that. And that's pretty normal time of how long it takes. You can use that time to get physically prepared, emotionally prepared. You can fundraise, right, your way out there to offset a lot of the costs. I do think that maybe for some folks, the barrier to going to Philmont is just, it seems so challenging, right? But Philmont, the staff, they're there to help you. Fred in the comment says he's a Philmont ambassador. I can attest it is truly heaven on earth. Yeah, Philmont has people Their job is to make it easy for you to get there. So go to their website, go through the resources. They want to make it as easy as possible. You can do this. This is not something you can't do. If you're like me, when I first got involved in scouting many, many years ago, I wanted to go, oh God, going out to New Mexico to go backpacking, that sounds like a lot of work. Philmont can help you get it done, both with the fundraising, with the planning, with the physical fitness, with the emotional fitness, which most, quite frankly, the grown-ups need that more than the kids, right? That's something that they can help you with. So reach out to them, take advantage of those resources. Registration opens tomorrow for the 2027 season. Let's talk about that registration process, folks. What is that like? How do you register for a trek at Philmont?
Sure. So the first thing is going to be going to the website that's listed on the page right now, navigating to our Treks page, registering. There should be a pop-up that guides you to that page, and you'll start the process in the system we call the Philmont Registration Gateway. You're going to enter in the initial contact information for your crew and pay an initial deposit to go ahead and start the registration process. Anything I missed on that?
Yeah, what you can do there is you'll identify who the lead reservation contact is, so we know who we're communicating with, and then gives you a chance to pick some dates. That's why it's so important to get on this like tomorrow, then this first week or two, because we will do those date selections on the 16th of October. So it's really important to if you got a particular time you want to come, it'll walk you through the steps. Very, very important. You don't have to have all your names. You're not having to do any of that kind of stuff right now. All we got to do is get the reservation in and get your dates and your reservation contact identified.
And we're certainly encouraging people to get in before the 16th, but our registration does not close on
Correct.
the 16th. So if you for some reason don't make that deadline, there may be less choices on date availability, but you can still certainly register for a 2027 trek after the 16th.
Clarify something, Matt, that you just said on this. I think is important for people to know. If you don't have your finalized roster yet, you might not know exactly who's going to go and who's not going. That's okay. Is that right?
That's correct. We're not asking for any names or any of that kind of stuff tomorrow. We just wanted to get your reservation in.
Yeah. And do encourage folks to register. It could fill up. Certain treks do fill up. So in the next 2 weeks, between October 1st and October 16th is a great time to register. Partly because if you do sign up for a trek between those 2 dates, you will be entered to win a custom t-shirt. This is a t-shirt made specifically for your group who's going to Philmont with some specific information. It's not just a shirt that you buy off the shelf. It's a custom shirt made for you. As Philip said, registration runs past October 16th. It doesn't close then. So you don't have to register by then. You want to get entered for a chance to win custom t-shirts, I recommend it. And as Matt said, yeah, you don't have to provide your roster of names and all that stuff right then and there. You don't have to have an exact firm number of who's going and who's not going. You just have to know that you have enough to fill out a trek, I think, basically, right, guys?
Yep,
Right.
Exactly.
I might have mentioned earlier that we have 2 more items to give away. I think we should give away the hat next, gentlemen. Who can show me that hat? Look at that. A very, very, very cool Philmont hat. I love it. All you have to do to enter to win is to comment. And we've got a lot of people who have commented so far. I'm going to give away that hat real quick as I scroll through my random comment predictor. The winner of the hat from Philmont is Tina Marie. Congratulations. Tina Marie's coming to us from Cold Spring, Minnesota. Troop 15. Tina, check your inbox. You have just won a Philmont hat. We'll get your information from you, Brian. Behind the scenes, Brian will hook you up. We have one more item to give away before the end of the show over the next 10 minutes. It's one more water bottle. I think let's show that. There you go. Very, very cool drinking water. An important part of the Philmont experience. You're going to get thirsty out there. Very, 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 very cool. Let's talk, if we could, a little bit about fundraising, scholarship opportunities, things like that. Again, I think, probably maybe one barrier for Philmont is, again, people might be thinking, oh, it's too much trouble. It's too much of a pain. The second barrier is probably finance related. Can you guys talk about scholarship opportunities? And if anybody maybe could comment on fundraising and things like that too, please.
Happy to. Fundraising is a key part of it. And we always believe, and when I brought my crews, the other good side is you've got so much time. You've got multiple seasons of whether it be popcorn sales or you've got a chance to earn your way. Now, outside of that, Philmont does offer a very generous scholarship program. Last year, we had over $500,000 worth of scholarships to help scouts get here. Now, we want every scout to have some ownership in the game, so they have, it's a merit-based situation. Then every crew has a chance to give a scholarship. So there's a lot of opportunities here, and it's nice to, a lot of local councils have Philmont scholarship programs. So always check your resources there locally as well. But our scholarship program begins also in the fall before you arrive.
Awesome. Awesome. I think all the information, again, PhilmontScoutRanch.org. That's going to become your best friend, right? Go to that website, check it all out. We've got a few questions from our folks watching. If you guys don't mind me running past some of you guys. Eric asks about the deposit. Is a deposit required? Is that per person or per crew? Can you guys talk about that a little bit real quick?
Great question. The deposit that we're referring here, that's per crew, $250 per crew tomorrow when you sign up. The per person, you have until December the 1st to put $150 up per person. Great question. Thank you for asking it.
Yeah, good question, Eric. Appreciate that. Yeah, again, you don't have to have the roster finalized for tomorrow. That is something you would do probably over the coming months after that. Does that sound about right, guys? You get that roster finalized?
It does. When we encourage folks, a crew here at Philmont is between 8 and 12, and we encourage folks to come in and make a reservation for 8. And so that way you can always add to your crew up to the 12 point. And like I said, we don't need names till much later.
Gotcha. Awesome. This is a great question from Chris. And I admit I don't know the answer. I've heard about a Philmont lottery before. Is that still a thing that you guys do? How does that work?
Sure. We're kind of changing the way we look at that. We have kind of a primary registration system or season that happens, like we said, in these next couple of weeks. And that's the first issue of dates. And so anyone who registers between now and the 16th will have the same equal chance for the top dates that they selected that they would like for their trek. And then following that, it's first come, first serve. So yeah, in the past, it's been referred to as a lottery. We're trying to get away from that terminology because it makes people think that if they don't register within those first couple of weeks, they have no chance of coming to Philmont. And that just isn't the case.
Awesome. Thanks for that explanation, Philip. Appreciate that very, very much. We have just about 7 more minutes with our good friends at the at Philmont Scout Ranch. Registration for the 2027 season opens tomorrow. Tomorrow is the first day that you can register. Some quick shout outs. Everett says, I love the National Scouting Museum. I do too, Everett. The National Scouting Museum is super, super cool. Tina, who just won a hat, says, I never win anything. Well, you did today, Tina. That's a great birthday present from your son. Congratulations. Appreciate that very much. Yeah, Veronica says everyone should come and do some amazing conservation projects. Maybe that's a good thing that we can talk about. You guys do have a lot. It's not just about enjoying the outdoors. It's about conserving the outdoors. Can you guys talk about that at all?
Absolutely. Every person that comes on a trek at Philmont, one of the requirements to earn the coveted Arrowhead Award is to complete at least 3 hours of conservation projects. We have a variety of different projects depending on your itinerary. Some are stream restoration, some are planting trees, some are doing, well, you name it. There's lots of different projects our conservation department leads, but it's a fundamental part of giving back to the land while you're here. Everyone that comes through Philmont participates in a conservation project.
Awesome. Very, 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 very cool. Again, we talked about this a little bit earlier, but I would love to mention it one more time. Philmont can be challenging. Some of the treks out there are super challenging. Let's talk about safety. Maybe there's a parent, again, this is kind of mostly what parents are worried about, right? Maybe there's a parent who says, oh, I don't know if about sending my child to Philmont. Hey, I get it. I've been there before. Can you guys talk about that? Tell me about the safety or and how you make sure that kids are in a safe environment out there.
Yeah, I'd be happy to talk about that. So a couple things that make backpacking at Philmont unique, very different than just going to a national forest, maybe going backpacking. Number one is the program opportunities that are available in all of our staff camps and our 30 plus staff camps. But I would say the second thing is the safety net that's in place here at Philmont. When you're out backpacking here on the ranch, you feel like you are out in the wilderness. You are out in the backcountry. You may not notice that there's a very robust system. We have a licensed infirmary here on site. We have physicians on site. We have EMTs. Our backcountry staff are all trained in wilderness first aid or our wilderness first responders. And they deal with these things every day, all summer long, and are awesome at keeping people safe. and healthy and hiking. Our goal is to always have them finish the trek, so when they get to the end, they can say, we all made it.
Yeah, Philmont it's almost like a little community. It's a little city out there in the middle of nowhere that just sort of operates. Yeah, that you guys do a great job at that. And yeah, I will assure everyone that, you know, when you send your child to Philmont, you are sending them into a safe environment where they are put in a position to be tested, but also they're taken care of, and they are put in a position, quite frankly, to have some success, to succeed. Obviously, we want them to come home feeling good about themselves. We touched on this a little bit earlier, but maybe one of you guys could comment on like the outcomes of a youth taking part in Philmont, the experience that they go through. What kind of outcomes do you think that you see, and what do you think folks could expect to see from their kids as an outcome when they go to Philmont?
We actually just did a study on this. We talk about how Philmont changes lives, and now we have empirical proof that it happens. Every person that comes here does an after-action survey, and you can just read them. It makes your heart full to read.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's amazing what this does. And we talk about the kids a lot. Let me talk about the adults. We do about as much for adults here and the leaders as we do for the young people. I've seen many of adults who walked up, want to hug us at the end of their trek, going, "I didn't think I could do that. I did it." And then their life has changed.
I would say the number one outcome we hear about the most is probably grit, or like stick-to-itiveness, or
resiliency.
Whatever. Yeah, resiliency, whatever word you like to use for that. But Philmont teaches people that they can overcome challenges. And along the way, like we've already talked about, there's teamwork, there's communication, problem solving. But I think really that resilience and determination and all of that, that's probably the biggest outcome that we see here at Philmont.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I can attest to that as well. I think when your child comes home from Philmont, again, you're going to notice them standing a little bit taller, feeling a little bit prouder, a little bit better about themselves, and a little bit, maybe a lot, sense of confidence, right? Just knowing that they did this, that they accomplished this, they worked hard, they got it done. By the way, they had a blast. They don't even realize that they're learning all these things. They don't even know, that they're becoming more confident. But when they look back on it, they will. As a brief aside, I've been lucky enough for a handful of times over the years to grab a moment or two with the president, CEO of our organization. He's a very businessy man, obviously a passionate scouter. You get him talking about Philmont, and it's different, right? I mean, it changes, the demeanor changes, you can see the emotion. And I think that's true for almost every Philmont alum, right? A life-changing experiment. It is not an exaggeration to say that at all. Again, registration goes live tomorrow, October 1st. We're talking about the 2027 season. We have just a few more minutes here with Philip and Matt as we wrap up our discussion. Anybody who registers between October 1st and October 16th is entered to win a custom t-shirt. And that's a t-shirt for every member of your group that goes out to Philmont, a t-shirt made specifically for this Philmont trip. That's chosen at random for anyone who registers between October 1st and October 16th. As Philip pointed out earlier, registration does not end October 16th. You can continue to register after that. You don't have to have an entire roster ready to go. All you have to do is make that deposit. I think Matt said they encourage you to register for 8 people. You can always increase that later. We have one more water bottle to give away. Let me, before we do that, give one more shout out to our good friends at Peak One Express. This is a company that provides private, comfortable transportation from Colorado airports to Philmont Scout Ranch. Go to their website for a quote. They send people there in vans. Their vans hold up to 14 guests, so that's usually enough for one group or so, plus their gear. You can get a quote on prices from their website. Reach out to them. It is a great way to get to Philmont if you're flying into one of the Denver airports. Be sure and check that out. Before we let you guys go today, though, let's give away that last prize. It's one last water bottle, and our random comment picker has already chosen. Congratulations to Kathleen. Kathleen Schaub has earned that last water bottle. Kathleen, check your Facebook inbox for a message from the one and only behind the scenes Brian, the true star of the show, who will reach out to you for your information. Congratulations. We've given out 2 water bottles and 1 hat today. Guys, this has been a great discussion. Is there anything else we need to let the folks at home know about Philmont? Registration opens tomorrow. I'm not sure if I've mentioned that yet. What else do we need to let folks know?
One thing I would just reference, on our website, there's a whole planning your trek. There's a whole section there. If there's a question that did not get answered today, and Philip referenced it earlier, we would love to come to one of your scout meetings. We love doing Zoom calls where we can answer questions directly from parents. There's also one thing we didn't mention. Sometimes advisors feel a little worried that they've never done something like this. We can help make you successful. We have a lot of tools to make you successful. Our job is to make you have an experience that you'll want to remember too. Don't be bashful. Reach out to us.
Yeah, I would say utilize the resources. Talk to us. We heard from a Philmont ambassador. Those are located all over the country. Often, I'm pretty sure every council in the nation probably has someone with a little bit of Philmont experience who'd be willing to help. But if not, you can always reach out to us, and we'd be happy to help you as well.
Yeah, I'm kind of picturing a scenario in which a scout leader who, didn't grow up in scouting, they don't know anything about scouts, they've never been to Philmont, they're only vaguely hear of it. They have a young scout who's read about Philmont in Scout Life or seen one of our videos, and they come and say, I want to go to Philmont. And that scout leader is kind of going through a little bit of anxiety. We can make it work for you. They can make it work. Reach out to your local council for resources. Reach out directly to Philmont. I love the idea of you guys sort of zooming into a meeting, right, to talk about what you need to know. You can do it. You can do it. Maybe before we let you go, any unit can go backpacking. Any scout unit can go backpacking. Can you guys, either of you, comment on maybe the advantage of doing a backpacking trip to Philmont as opposed to doing it at the unit level?
Yeah, it's similar to what I talked about a few minutes ago. I mean, the experience here at Philmont, you have staff who are out in the backcountry, who understand scouting, who can lead you through amazing and high adventure programs or living history programs that you would not get if you were going to go backpacking in a state park or in a national forest. And then they're also there as that safety net. We also have our ranger department who guide our crews out on their backpacking trek. We do preparedness seminar videos to help you with your gear, with your planning, your medical forms, all of that stuff leading up to the course of the season. So honestly, I think coming to Philmont can be a great way to prepare for backpacking if your unit's not as experienced in backpacking. We can help you along.
Awesome. Yeah, this has been a great show. Great information, guys. I've been working for Scouting America for some time. I won't say how many years, but it's been some time. And I'm not saying that the registration process for these types of things was ever bad, but I will say it's gotten a lot better. It's a lot easier now to register for these types of events, these types of experiences than it used to be. Go to the website, check it out. Registration for the 2027 season. We're talking about 2027. You've got plenty of time to get ready. It opens tomorrow. And speaking of getting ready, they will tell you everything you need to do over the next, what is it, 19 months or whatever it is, 20 months. They will walk you through that process, fundraising, getting prepared physically, all of you adults getting prepared emotionally to send your kids there. All that stuff is covered. I think we should close today our show with a comment from Jeremy, who says that his scout said their trek was the most strenuous thing they have ever done in scouting, and every one of them wants to go back. I think that's a great way to summarize it, Jeremy. Thanks to you for commenting. Thanks to everyone else who is commenting. Very, very cool. Matt and Philip, thanks you guys for joining us today. We appreciate it so much. I don't know if I've mentioned it yet, but registration opens tomorrow. Go to the Philmont Scout Ranch website to sign up, get more information. Philip and Matt, always good to see you guys. I'm sure we'll do it again soon. Have a good day. To those of you watching at home, thank you so much. Go to philmontscoutranch.org. Bye, everybody. Bye, Philip. Bye, Matt. See you guys soon.